In CR or fluoroscopy, you find magnification. Increasing magnification, increase the dose to patient. Increase the dose to patient. Here, with increasing magnification, okay, at field of view, when the field of view was 25 centimeter, the dose rate was 0.3 milligram per second. Okay, so for field of view, less field of view, 17 centimeters, the dose rate increased to 0.6 milligram per second. So when decreasing the field of view mean increasing magnification. Increasing magnification. That means dose rate will be 1.23 milligram per second. So magnification is very important. You have to take care of this point during the exposure of patient to radiation. There is another parameter, it's mean collimation. Collimation, okay? So there is difference between field of view and the collimation. So there is difference between field of view and collimation. Magnification, okay? Yes, and for collimation, reducing the dose to patient, okay? Because if you expose to all this area of the patient, no need to expose this region from the heart, okay, from lung. So you have to reduce, you have to collimate the dose or to prevent the radiation incident on this region. So now you decrease the dose to patient, okay? Here you will find the example for open beam and collimated beam. What's the difference between open beam and collimated beam? Here less dose, here higher dose.
But collimation doesn't change absorption less from those to others standing aside. No. Collimation doesn't.
Definitely, if you reduce the collimation, okay.
It also reduces those
because interaction of photons with other parts of organ will be decreased. So scattered radiation also will be reduced. Here. This is a very important option in fluoroscopy. It's the pulsed mode, the rate of pulse. You can control this option in your CR or fluoroscopy, the rate of pulse. Maybe a rate of pulse is 15 pulse per second or 7.5 pulse per second. Decreasing the pulse rate, okay, decreasing the dose to patient, okay, because you extend the period between pulse and the next one. So the patient exposure to radiation will be reduced, and as well scattered radiation will be reduced. Okay, so it's a very important option. You will find it in your CR. Yes. These for upright position, okay, for tube, and side position for tube. When you are inside of X-ray tube, okay, and when you, this for side position, the dose, here you will find that the dose rate here is 1 milligram per hour, but here you will expose to radiation less than inside position, okay? So, you will find the diagram depicts scattered radiation for CR fluoroscopy system with the X-ray tube under the table and the lateral projection on the same side as the operator. Okay. Note the high dose to the operator when the standing on the same side of the patient as the tube. Okay. And if the operator stands upright, scattered radiation to the face is perhaps 1/4 as great as when the operator is leaning down towards the patient. Okay? Short operators, okay, receive more radiation to the face than to tall operators. Okay? So if you are tall, okay, you are lucky. Okay? They may wish to stand on the platform. Okay? So if you are tall, okay, your face will be exposed to scattered radiation less than if you are short.
Islam. I've seen in Germany that there are frequently they have on the side of the operating table, or especially more the the cardiologists some lead curtains hanging down.
Sorry?
They have
Lead curtains.
They have lead. So the cardiologists like to have on that side lead here.
Yes.
Here, lead down.
Yes, we can use shield here in this region. We reduce the scatter radiation.
Yeah.
Yes, we have this option.
Not yet.
In Germany.
We can mount lead apron, or sometimes you'll find table mounted with lead or shield. Okay, you can use it, or you can build it, or you can manufacture one or to make one to protect the patient from to protect the worker from the scattered radiation. Okay. Here you will find lead apron or shield, lead shield between the X-ray tube and the worker and doctor here. So this lead apron protects the worker from scattered radiation from the X-ray tube itself. Here you will find this one is lead shield, and this one is lead shield, okay? And this 4 image intensifier also lead shield. All these lead shields protect worker from scattered radiation. Okay. Take proper care of your apron. It's very important, okay, to stretch your apron like that, because it may cause cracks for lead apron, okay? Precautions to minimize exposure to patient and operator. Utilize radiation only when imaging is necessary. Avoid the heavy fold. Minimize use of sign mode. This sign mode is continuous mode, okay, for fluoroscopy. Minimize use of still angles. Make angulation for the X-ray tube. Minimize use of magnification modes. Minimize frame rate, fluoroscopy and sign, 7.5 frames. You have to reduce the pulse rate, okay, frame rate will be good for patient and for you. Keep the image detector close to the patient. Utilize collimation to the fullest extent possible. Monitor radiation dose in real time. You have to see what's the dose of patient, okay, on the monitor, okay, every time. Use and maintain appropriate protective lead garments. Maximize distance of operator from X-ray source and patient. Keep above table and below table shields in optimal position at all times. Keep all body parts out of the field of view at all times, all body parts of patient. Robotic PCI system may be considered. If we have robot here, we can use it for doing the operation.
22nd century.
Keep table height as high as comfortable possible for the operator. Every 30 minutes, vary the imaging beam angle. It's very important information. Every 30 minutes of exposure, you have to vary the imaging beam angle to minimize exposure to any specific skin area. Okay? When you are focusing the beam angle for a specific area, for a certain point, every 30 minutes, change little bit, okay, to focus on another point. It will to avoid the skin burn, or to avoid skin problems, or to reduce the skin dose of patient. Okay,
Every 30 minutes.
30 minutes of operation.
Operation.
Yes.
Not of exposure.
For 30 minutes for exposure. The operation time is around
5 hours, for example, or 2 hours.
so for exposure time of exposure.
So every 30 minutes of operation, you have to change it.
You have to change it. Yes. If you are using the continuous exposure to patient,
Continuous. Okay. But
keep the patient extremities out of the beam. Okay.
As well as operators extremities out from the beam.
Yes. Here. Factors affecting dose of exposure, distance between X-ray tube and the patient, distance of patient to image receptor, collimation, fluoroscopic and radiographic acquisition mode. fluoroscopy time, which filter means that filter inside the X-ray tube, okay, which absorb a lot of radiation, which absorb a lot of high energy radiation, magnification, seconds of the composition of patient, affecting on the absorbed dose of patient, X-ray beam quality, pulse rate, and pulse width for pulse fluoro, scatter grade B, yes, for table, angulation, surgeon should not stand on the X-ray tube side. Surgeon should not stand on the X-ray tube side, since they will receive scattered radiation up to 4 to 8 millisievert. When you stand on the X-ray tube side, you will absorb a lot of radiation. You will absorb a lot of radiation, reach to 4 to 8 millisievert. Okay? So you have to stand in the intensifier, okay, near to the intensifier, not near to the X-ray tube. Okay? That will reduce the dose to worker. Standing on the intensifier side, reduce the exposure received by 1/10. You can reduce the dose by 1/10 if you are standing on the intensifier side. If the surgeon stands on the X-ray tube side, thyroid exposure is 3 to 4 times higher. Okay, you have to take care of this point. So if you stand beside the X-ray tube, your thyroid exposure will be increased, your total body exposure will be increased. The dose rate to torso, this region, from the X-ray tube side are 0.53 millisievert per minute, this is the dose rate, whereas standing on the intensifier side, it's 0.02 millisievert per minute. So you can find the dose rate, the great difference between 0.5 millisievert to 0.02 when you are standing on intensifier or on the side of X-ray tube.
But if you stand behind the X-ray tube, this X-ray tube here, and you stand, X-ray tube is here, you stand
Yes.
behind. This is scattered radiation.
Maybe leakage from the X-ray tube itself. Maybe scattered radiation coming from the patient because the patient is in the opposite. I'm sorry.
No, the patient is here.
Yes.
Show from the image of the intensifier.
I stand behind the tube. This is the image.
Yes.
This is the image. This is the patient. This is the image. This is the tube, and I'm standing behind the tube.
Yes.
Very soon, close to the tube, but behind the tube.
Okay. So scattered radiation coming from patient.
I think it's important for you put up the image of the intensifier and show exactly on which side of the machine. Probably the one with the lady was working. Okay, probably that one. So now you can refer to it.
For this position, you can't be behind the X-ray tube. Okay. For this position, you have to be in the side of intensifier.
So can you show up the which side?
Okay. For side position, okay, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay. You will be behind the X-ray tube. The X-ray tube can't absorb radiation. Okay, so the scattered radiation, the distance, maybe at first leakage from the X-ray tube. This,
Just continue the night.
okay, maybe leakage from the X-ray tube. Okay, this one. Second one, the scattered radiation, which may be back from the patient. Okay, scattered back to you.
Reflected radiation.
Yes,
If I may ask, do you understand where next to the tube is, the audience here? All of you understand?
You have to be on the
I
other
want you to
side.
point on the image to show where is side and where is next to and all that. so that
This is the
they will
X-ray
understand.
tube, okay? And this is the intensifier. You have to be in this side, not in the side of X-ray tube.
Can you show the slides with the radiation?
Can I just quickly explain something, maybe make it clear? The thing is, if you have your bone in here, you remember bone is white, meaning the X-ray comes, it doesn't go through the bone, so it will be reflected back to you. Yeah? The problem is not what goes through, goes generally here. No? Generally you have photons coming here,